Hey, my sweethearts, it is Mama Rada. Happy Tuesday. Oh my goodness, one more day. My baby girl starts her senior year. Anyway, I was just thinking today, I was listening to a conversation Mr. Samuels had with a young lady who was about to be 29. She had 4 kids. And I was like, wow, she really sounds like she's 16 years old. I mean, she could not complete a sentence. And, you know, as it went on, I realized she'd never finished high school. And I remembered this particular broadcast. It makes me cry because I'm like, God bless her heart. I don't know where things went wrong, but she apparently got out from underneath Headship a long time ago. And it just made me think about how women without male headship are chaotic. And I know so many women that are single women, and they're like that. Their brain, you know, women flow with their feelings anyway, but if they don't have male headship, they are all over the place and they cannot control their thoughts, their emotions at all. At least if you have a man, you know, your husband can say, listen, you need to calm down, you need to go there and sit down. And you're like, okay, yes, sir. You know, and he'll make you calm your ass down. Okay. And that is a gift and it's a blessing because he'll help you learn to control yourself. So, you know, I know women and it's self-destructive and it's just like they torture themselves with all these different thoughts, and it's the confusion, so much confusion in their mind. Something can seem so freaking obvious, like, duh, you need to move back and be with your kids, you know, whatever, something so freaking obvious. And they're like, no, I'm confused. I don't know what the right thing is to do. And my kid says he wants to move up here. And I'm thinking, a kid don't have the choice what state he wants to live in. He needs both his parents. That's what he needs. Oh my goodness. So I just know that women, I have so many different circumstances that I could tell you, just watching women be completely chaotic in their lives, you know, abandoning their children, getting onto drugs or alcohol, doing porn, okay, doing all kinds of things because they don't have male headship or proper male headship. Because a lot of times these chaotic women get with F-boys that'll, you know, entertain them, make them feel feelings, they'll make them feel loved, but meanwhile they're just using them and take them on all kinds of adventures and journeys, and they'll end up, you know, you're gonna have domestic calls, 911, you know, all kinds of hell that woman created because she didn't stay where she should have stayed. She didn't stay under the proper male headship. She went off on her own and just living a chaotic life. Doesn't know how she's going to pay her bills, doesn't know how she's going to feed herself. I mean, you guys think I'm over exaggerating? No, I am not. I can list numerous women that fall into this category, and then their families just get tired of them. I've had family members from other countries email me saying, listen, don't accept her calls anymore. Don't talk to her anymore. She's abandoned her children. She's done this. She's an alcoholic. You know, she was taking her daughter to bars. You know, I mean, it's just unbelievable. So you think it's just a American thing? You know, this is all over the world because feminism has corrupted pretty much almost everywhere. So, God, and refused. I know one, God bless her soul, she was in a situation where it was so desperate and so she was in such despair that she just didn't eat for like a month, you know, and she was like wasting away. I don't know how she was even getting whatever she was getting to drink. And, you know, anyway, her ex-husband came and rescued her, brought her home. Her kids are there, everything, got her all back to health. And I can only assume she couldn't deal with that headship, with the control, the order, and bucked and left and off on a whole nother journey again. So, you know, again, women left to themselves live a chaotic life, have chaos going on in their mind, and just complete drama every day, up and down, up and down, up and down. And that makes you crazy. It makes you psychotic. You can't live like that. You have got to have balance. You have to have boundaries. You have to have control. And just like children who push the boundaries, the shit test, yeah, that's what women do to their men. But if they don't have men to shit test, they're just off on freaking la la land and pushing life. to the limits, to the, and doing all kinds of reckless things, stupid things, and have no concept of where am I going to be in 5 years, 10 years? If I keep living like this, I'm going to be homeless. There's going to be no family members, no one left to take care of me. And I'm just going to be out on the streets because, you know what, honey, you ain't going to be cute forever. Women have been able to look pretty cute into their 40s. God bless them. It didn't used to be that way. If you take care of yourself. Some of these women I know look very cute. They look more like they're 30. Great. Congratulations. Try that when you're 50 and 60 years old. And if you have not been under male headship for so long in your life, you will not be able to do it because you are too independent and stubborn in spirit. And I know women that tell me I'm too independent. I am independent. I'm not just going to listen to some man, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, well, then continue to live in chaos and keep living with all this and not knowing, where your future's going. Women that have doctorates, that, have very high scientific degrees, doesn't mean crap. That graduated college on the dean's list, straight A's, summa cum laude, and all that crap, okay? Can't listen to a man. Can't keep their life together. Wrecking cars, oof, goodness gracious. So you have to just swallow it. Yeah, swallow it. But you have to, as a woman, just bite it and realize that some of the things that your man tells you, you're going to bristle and be like, oh, well, I don't like it like that, or I want to do this, or I really want to do that, and I don't like that he said that. You know what? Tough shit. Tough crap. You need to sit your butt down somewhere. He is saving you from yourself, okay? I can't put it any more plainly than that. My husband has saved me a million times over. God bless his soul. I don't know what I would do without him. I'd be lost. So anyway, but it's the truth. It's the truth. And when I look at my life compared to some of my family members' life, I'm just like, thank you, God. Thank you, Lord, for giving me the spirit of submission and willing to yield, even if I don't like the answer, even if I think that he's wrong. I'm just like, zip it. Suck it up. He's the man. He's the head. He's your king. Just deal with it. And over and over and over again, I have seen how his way's been better. His way was successful. His way worked out. It kept us from, this problem or that problem. Whew. Honestly, I don't even know why he ever even asked me for my opinion, which he does. God bless his soul. But, I'm just grateful. So, even to today, there's times when I don't like what Daddy says, or I want to do this and he's like, no, or, whatever it might be. And I accept that. I accept it and just deal with it. And just keep in my mind, Daddy knows best. It's his way or the highway, and on top of the fact that I'm incredibly grateful to have this man who's amazing, who will continue to grow in value even as he gets older, with his cute salt and pepper, beard, and his hair is so fabulous. He just looks so good. I'm like, oh, baby. And, and I see all the young little hotties looking at him, and I'm proud of him. That's good, but he chooses to be with me. He chooses to keep me, love me, treat me like a queen, so I'm like, I better keep it right. I better not be a bitch. I better not nag him and, just be a pain in the ass and, bring chaos into his life or bring problems into his life. I better not, I better make things as pleasant as possible because he doesn't have to keep me. A lot of men will choose being broke, because, divorce and pay all the fees, being broken at peace and happiness than over staying with a wife that makes them miserable. Cheaper to keep her might last for a while, but then a man looks at his life and says, I'm not going to live forever. I want to be happy. So you can't push men too far. You just can't. And if anything, you really need to do everything that you can do to show him how valuable he is to you, and be so grateful for everything that you have. and a lot of it has to do with your attitude and your perception on how you view things. So again, your husband's your king, he's your Lord, he's your master. He is the master of that house, okay? And everything from there flows. And, women get caught up, oh, but I, serve God, and, and then I serve my husband. Listen, you serve God through serving your husband, all right? And it's that way in many different cultures. And the Indian culture, it says that as well, that a woman worships God through worshiping her husband. That's what it says. My mama don't like that, but that's what it says. The husband is the physical manifestation of Jesus in your home. That's what it is. And that's incredible. So imagine, when you are submitting to your husband, you're submitting to God. And even in the natural realm, it's just going to work better. Whether you believe in God or not, your whole relationship will work better when he has a woman that cooperates, that's easygoing, that's sweet, that smiles, that tries to do things to make him happy, and keep yourself as close as possible. My husband always says, ask yourself, what would daddy say? What would daddy say about this situation? And then you know the answer, whether or not you should do that, It's the same thing he says to the kids. But he's right. And if I think about it, I'm out and I'm like, oh, I want to do that or get that. And I'm like, what would daddy say? Oh, well, okay, maybe not. So it makes a huge difference. And your husband doesn't have to be with you all the time to keep you under control. He sets the boundaries. He sets the stage, so to speak, the foundation. And as years go on, you're trained. You do things better. And you handle life better. He's taught me so much about how to control my emotions, especially when I have to make all these calls and talk to these people in different companies that are complete idiots. And, I have to maintain my control and my composure. Otherwise, they're not going to help me. And I used to be like the sweetest person ever. And I've just got to the point where I'm like, you guys, nobody can do your job right, But I'm like, no, okay, what would daddy say? Daddy says, be very nice, because otherwise they're not going to help you. So, things like that. It makes a difference. And even when it comes to dealing with family members, he's been so wise. One time he said, well, I wouldn't say that to so-and-so. If you do, you're going to start something and you're not going to be happy with the results. And of course, I couldn't resist saying something, because I was like, I've let it go for 20 years. I'm going to say something. And then, of course, it never works out the way that I think it should work out. I'm like, dang it, daddy was right, So play around if you want to, but the more we listen to our men, the better. And honestly, the more that we believe in them and trust in them and give them the opportunity, well, not that we're giving them the opportunity to lead, but by not being a pain in the ass and fighting him, the better leaders they become. I mean, he's just amazing. So I love him. God bless him. And maybe someday when he retires, he'll come and do a video. I know a lot of people ask someday, but again, right now, things I talk about, that is not very job friendly. So he's not trying to put his job at risk. So anywho, all right, lots of love, guys. A woman without headship is chaotic. All right, mwah, ciao.